Take one. We hear in Paul's letter to the Romans that we are sinful human beings. And that's why John the Baptist came, preaching his message of repentance. Because indeed, we are sinful, and we are unprepared for God's kingdom. We need someone to do the Father's will, someone to complete the work that is necessary, the work that we are unable to do. And that one who came was Jesus Christ himself. And now we as Christ followers, we have this thing called grace. It's something that showers over us. It's something that we hear in the words, "I forgive you." And now, because of grace, you and I can be who we are. Simply, let me tell you, be who you are. Because we know however great the sin, grace is abundantly greater. Yet we sometimes fall into that trap that Paul was preaching about. Since we do have this thing, let's just commit sin and have grace more abundantly. That's the careless chatter that can be among us. Indeed, if I do it once and get grace, why not do it 3 or 4 or 5 times, and then I'll get a lot more grace? Or if I do a little sin, why not do a bigger sin? Because then I can have grace all that much more. Indeed, that is jumbled thinking. It's also a very perverted understanding of what grace is all about. And if we are left that way, it subverts our attitude. Indeed, that we can then use grace to justify ourselves. To justify ourselves in committing the sin. Or we can excuse another person. There is a comedian who uses a phrase, "Oh, bless her heart." It's sort of used in that sense of, she doesn't know any better, so just bless her heart and just excuse the sin. Well, my grandmother used one all the time, and she used it quite a bit around me. In fact, there was a time when I was smaller that because of how my mom called me, I thought my name was No Dave. But my grandmother used to say, "God love it." And again, she said it in a way that was used to sort of excuse my behavior because I didn't know any better. Well, indeed we do. We do know that we sin. And we do know that everyone is a slave to someone or something. You might be a slave to your finances, either wondering how you are going to make the next dollar to pay the bills, or you want to consume more and more and get more and more. Some people are a slave to guilt, that because they have committed the sins, they can never forgive themselves. Some are slaves to gossip. Oh, when they hear that juicy tidbit, they can't wait to tell somebody else. Or when they see 2 people talking off in a distance, they have to go and find out. Some are slaves to their anger, that they fly off the handle at a moment's notice, that they can't be forgiving of another. I'll forgive when I finally see a change in your behavior. Some are slaves to their worry, never knowing if anything is ever going to turn out the way they want to. And still others are slaves to bitterness. It just hangs on their heart, that their lives are just filled with this angry attitude, this bitter attitude. Be who you are. If that's who you are, really? That's the first take.